Another week, another trip for Roger Goodell to DC. This time they're announcing the 2027 NFL draft. Not a surprise, but what does it mean? Giant picture? I don't know. Let's find out and have a podcast. What up, everybody? JP Finley, Beltway Football, Monumental Sports Network, joined by the big man, Mr. Mitch Tischler. Let's start with just the awesome news. The NFL draft's coming to Washington. Dude, the NFL draft is like Lollapalooza for football fans. It's nobody loses, nobody fumbles. There's no interceptions on draft day. Everybody's just hanging out, having a good time. I think this will be an awesome thing for DC. I think you and I worked at one in Philly, and what they had were awesome visuals because it was that huge open park area with the art museum up on the hill and kind of that like I don't know, neoclassical architecture, whatever you call that, like Gothic. I don't know. I got the yen trade right. I'm not going to get the architecture right. I think the visuals will be incredible of like Goodell greeting the number one pick with the Capitol behind him. I think strictly related to the NFL draft before we go anywhere else, this is awesome.
I think it's so damn cool. It's going to be really fun to just have the entire NFL descend upon Washington D.C. And listen, the Green Bay Packers in Green Bay, Wisconsin, just handled a draft, and that town is tiny. I have no doubt that Washington will be able to handle this with a plum. And I look back to the Caps, parade and the way that they're able to handle those crowds. Now, granted, this will be bigger than that, but that day was one of it was an all-time A+ day in Washington D.C. sports fandom. And I think when we get to this time next year and we're looking back at, or this time of 27, looking back at the draft, we're going to look back on it in the same kind of way.
Well, dude, the stadium, which we'll get to what I think them getting the draft means for the stadium, but
Of course.
the the stadium stuff is still so far away. Like optimistically, we're talking 2030. I think 2031 might be more realistic. Every day there's not a shovel in the ground that just feels further away. Um, but this is less than 2 years away. Like this is like when we talk about the stadium for Channel 4, they asked me to like say kind of what the stadium meant for players. And I had explained that like 5 years in the NFL is an eternity. Like the odds are 80% of this roster is turned over by then. But the draft is around the corner, and that whoever's drafted then is going to play with most of these guys. like
Yeah.
this, I just think there's some immediacy to it. I think it'll be a ton of fun. I don't know as you and I are getting hammered with questions and people say we don't know enough on these like financial topics. I don't know the finances of how the NFL draft, who pays for what, and all that. I just know it's going to be a blast. I know if you bring Goodell said 1 million people. I think Harris said that too. You bring 1 million people over a 3-4 day period. That's good for the city because every hotel's packed, every bar's packed, every Uber's full. Like, I just the draft is straight up two thumbs up. I got nothing but and I got fireworks for you, big man.
There you go. The fireworks are much needed. I wish my thumbs up did the fireworks. Also, anyone that isn't excited about this happening is just a grump, and you're gonna have to move on. I think it's gonna be really cool, and I think it just also speaks to the standing within the NFL of this franchise and how much that has changed in 2 years. And you know, previous leadership and ownership was on Capitol Hill around government buildings from time to time, and it was always for negative stuff. Now you're seeing these guys, announcing major deals, getting stuff done, and it's cool. It's fun.
A previous ownership refused their invitations to Capitol Hill, but there were invitations.
Yeah.
Um,
At the end they were refusing them. But
right,
early on they used to go and
right, right,
talk
right,
to the
right.
different committees and try and reason, and then ultimately decided to run off to London instead of
Remember we
answering.
got Bruce outside of the Wilson building, like on Freedom Plaza one time? That was so random.
Yeah.
I firmly believe, and I am not trying to, I don't know. I've had a lot of people tell me that I'm not informed on this or whatever. And there are certainly levels of informed on this, and I'm not at the highest rung of that ladder. Um, but I continue to think, as this relates to the stadium, there's no way Bowser, Harris, Trump, and Goodell are standing in the Oval Office without a very, 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 very strong feeling RFK is getting done. And if you listen to the language the four of them used, sure seemed like RFK was getting done. I don't
Yeah.
think the NFL makes this commitment now without what they feel is a commitment on the back end.
Well, and they're also, I would say, in some regards, greasing the wheels a little bit,
Yeah.
getting in early so that, you know, the NFL and this presidential group are all on the same page and working together and, having each other's, they're all kind of agreeing and pushing things in the right direction because, you know, Goodell, Josh Harris handing Trump a jersey and a football and, allowing him to announce that he's allowing that. I mean, this is all, there's a lot of greasing of the wheels and, kind of, you know, putting a down payment on the soon to be massive down payment that Josh Harris and company have to put down for the RFK Stadium site.
Yeah, exactly. And this one I think is easy to separate or just feel differently than RFK. Like RFK is much more complex. It's something that if everything goes right, it stands for a century or you know what I mean? Like this is 3 days. It's a 3 day party. I think the biggest complaint about the draft could be traffic. Like outside of traffic, I don't get the complaints involved here. I guess Rooster went nuts that he that Harris called Trump a commander. Um,
I,
I think we got to get away from some of the semantics. Here's what I don't want to do.
I think you're reading way too much into things if you're getting mad about him saying that he's the ultimate commander or whatever he said. He is the commander in chief of the United States, whether you like it or not, or like him or dislike him, doesn't really matter. It doesn't change the fact that he's still the commander in chief. And Josh Harris was, I am sure, playing some, word game with commander and commander. And to read anything further into it is doing too much.
Yeah, it's tough because politics is just so polarized that everything is everything all the time, and we're just going to choose not to be that way, and we're just going to
Right.
say, "Yo, it's dope. The draft is happening." I do think it's fair to point out, though, that a lot of people from the league, the team, and the city and Events DC, because they're like a quasi city arm, but like the mayor's office and Events DC, this has been in the works for 2+ years. The Post reported on this publicly a year ago. Like, so, the president wants to make this his thing. That's cool, whatever. But like a lot of people have been working on this a long time that predates this administration.
And
Um,
as much as it was being
I
worked
just want
on,
to credit the people that have worked on it. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
that's what I was going to say. As much as, the current group is going to take all the credit for it, which they are known to do. Like, you know, this is something that's been being worked on, but also something that wasn't really realistic until A, there was a new ownership group, and B, there was at least a plan or a discussion of what was going to happen with the stadium and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I think all this is the same, as JP loves my saying, the same snowball rolling downhill, gaining steam.
Sure is, big man.
Sure is.
Sure is. I we got some numbers to like we're all excited about the draft. I think that's our draft announcement recap. Is that right?
Yeah, no, that's entirely fair. I working in the photography world as long as I have, I had a buddy send me some pictures from inside the Oval Office today, and it's just it's seeing Josh Harris and the President of the United States standing in the Oval Office, making a grand announcement is just it's it's crazy. It's wild. I like as much as we talked about the draft possibly coming here and seeing him stand up there with Mayor Bowser and discussing RFK. That's one level of things. But when you start dealing with stuff with with the leader of the free world, that's a different world, and it's incredible to see.
Dude, so I made what I thought was a joke. Um, Donald Trump said to Harris, "You have a very good quarterback." And I posted a picture of Jaden with that quote on it on my Facebook, and it's just like people fighting in the comments. Like all I said was finally something we can all agree on that that Jaden's a very good quarterback. And I want to just get out of this universe as fast as possible. It's just so polarized and toxic. So Two thumbs up for the NFL draft coming to DC.
Yep. Four thumbs
Uh,
up between the two of us.
four thumbs up. Do you remember the Dave Chappelle, Rick James line about wishing I had four hands?
No, I don't. But
Well, I'm not gonna say it, but it
yeah, I can read between the hands.
I give this thing four thumbs down. All right. Far more important and perhaps, you know, in our lane, the Commanders today announced numbers for lots of players. Um, this we'll stick with the thumbs up, thumbs down. You can give a thumbs medium. My kids are big on thumbs medium. I cook them food. I have them try it. They give me a thumbs medium. Um, Shout
They
out to
do.
Ainsley. Won a championship this weekend. No big deal.
Hey, congrats, Ainsley.
Shelby did not. They got thumped. But
Did they spend a little too much time around the Redskins with Jim Zorn there, just kind of trying to stay medium there?
maybe. Neither of them were an apple in their father's eye in the Jim Zorn era. All right. So we'll start with the free agents. These are the veterans that Washington signed this offseason. Uh, I like this one. Will Harris is going to wear number 3. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. I'm on board with that.
Michael Gallup wearing 12.
Thumbs down.
It's a medium to a down.
I'm not a big fan for the most part of receivers with the double digit teens uh, type jerseys. Obviously,
I
love
like it.
Barry in it.
I'm just not sure I like 12 seems like a quarterback or like a punter.
Uh, Especially if you're going to be a quote unquote speedster, get yourself a fast number. Something
That's
slick, sleek.
interesting you say that. So we'll talk about fast numbers later because Beamish and I had quite a disagreement on this. Josh Johnson going with 14.
Yeah. Listen, I think as we go through a bunch of these numbers, they're going to be uh, recently players that recently left in ways that the fan base probably didn't love, and I think we need to just recycle those numbers as quickly as possible and start getting new names in them.
What am I missing with 14?
Sam Howell.
Man, you think people okay. I would not have thought of that. You think people will care that Howell's gone and it'll impact their opinion of Josh Johnson?
I think there are people that love Sam Howell still.
No, not anymore.
Maybe not. Maybe not. You think? Yeah, right. Maybe not anymore. Maybe Jaden put
What do you
everything.
think there are people that still what do you think more people still have love for? Howell or Heineke? I think it's Heineke by a wide margin.
I think Heineke by a wide margin. Yes, but I think Howell has. There's still the hive is simmering under the surface.
I don't think so. I think they're like the cicadas. They have
Every
buried
7 years.
for 18 years. The new kicker Matt Gay wearing number 16. Thumbs up.
Big thumbs up. It just
Jonathan.
feels like a kicker number, by the way,
Yeah.
because I feel like to get to 16, you have to have either a really good kicker or a bad kicker. Anyway, go ahead.
Jonathan Jones wearing 31. I'm good with it.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Maybe I'm more medium
Indifferent.
up.
I was gonna say I'm kind of indifferent. It's a fine number.
This one's interesting. Javon Kinlaw is wearing 52.
That was the number that I was really getting to when I was saying about the get
Oh,
new bodies into those jerseys, because you see 52 and you see that the bad Commanders jersey in a 52, and there's only one thing you can think of.
I get that with Jamin, but that just seems that's a linebacker number. Just seems weird on the line of scrimmage. And whether he's playing inside or outside, 52 just seems weird.
Yeah. Well, hopefully 52 is the number of quarterback pressures he has this season.
I mean, this is peak May content right here.
This is peak big
Um,
content.
Now, I guess Kinlaw wore 54 with the Jets last year. So maybe
And
he's
for what it's worth, I like 52 better than 54.
I might as well. He likes them in the 50s, Mitch. Nate Herbig is going to wear 53. Finally.
Perfect.
Jacob Martin, supposed to be an edge guy, is wearing 55.
Yeah.
I don't love it. I think
I
was
I
Junior
can't say I
Seau
love it
55?
either. Yeah.
Who's the first 55 you think of? I think I might go to Junior Seau. R.I.P.
55, I think I go to Zach Martin maybe first, just because I grew up watching the Dolphins a lot. Um,
All right.
yeah.
79 Foster Sarrell.
Yeah. 79 is a good, just a good, a
That
good
seems correct.
lineman number. Yeah.
First 79 I think of is Ty and Seki.
Yeah, the giant and ginormous of a man.
That dude was big. 91. So they're giving out 91, which I think they've already given out. Dietrich Wise.
Perfect. Hopefully, he's able to pick up a lot of info from the old 91 and put up some similar stats to what the old 91 did.
I got some tweets that people don't love that they gave away 91 so quick. I can assure you that Kerrigan doesn't care. Like that's just not a thing that Ryan would seem to care about.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
Maybe I'm wrong, but it would surprise me. This is probably my one seed of numbers to players.
Absolutely, it is.
Eddie Goldman wearing 97, a big fella wearing
Oh,
97. I like it.
I thought you were going with. I thought we were going with Amos at
That's my
23.
one seed of rookies.
Gotcha, of your all timers.
No, just of this year's numbers.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like.
This year, the guys that came out. 97 will always be Lorenzo Alexander for me.
Sure.
But yeah, I like it.
All right. We can do this quick because you clearly are into it.
I'm into this.
I'm just messing around, dude. Connerly 72, correct. 2 thumbs up.
Who's your first 72 you think of? And there's only one answer.
You've got me nervous. Dexter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, like Charles Leno, but not when we're talking Redskins. It's Dexter Manley.
Trey Amos killed it. 23 for a corner's dope. I guess Lattimore's moving off it. I'm in. Also, all these numbers, some of them will probably change because some dude will get cut with a number somebody else wanted and they'll switch to that. Like, I would rent, don't buy your new jerseys right now based on these. I can't imagine a lot of these jerseys are getting ordered anyway, but just in case.
Yeah.
Um, this one I take issue with. Jalen Lane is a speedster. I don't like 83 on my speedsters. 83 is a tight end number.
I don't think it's even a tight end number. I mean, I guess maybe it's like kind of a slot receiver type number. You're right. It's not that fast. It makes me think of Jamison Crowder. It makes me think of Fred Davis in our years of players. But I mean, yeah, it's not a particularly fast number.
No. But if he's fast, it won't matter what the number is.
Look, if he puts up the numbers Ricky Sanders put up in 83, then I'm going to be A-okay with it, and we can all move on and be happy.
That was B. Mitch's counter to my claim. He's like, Ricky was fast as hell. So
he was, but that also was an era where receivers had to wear numbers in the 80s. Like,
right.
I love give me my fast guys in ones and 11s, in 17s. Those give me some sleek numbers, not these rounded.
Yeah.
I want my fast guys in fast numbers.
You and I agree on that one. Madrano wearing 56. That's fine. He's a linebacker. It's a linebacker number.
Who's your all-time 56? LeVar?
To me, even though it's the Giants, it's always LT.
Sure. I guess I was saying Redskins players.
Sure, LeVar. Krosky Merritt, 32. Totally fine. Running back. 7th round running back. Here's 32, son.
I'm gonna wear that number until he starts making plays and then he gets a real number.
Yeah, like we'll see what number Jalen Lane and Krosky Merritt are wearing Labor Day weekend. Could be different.
Yeah.
But until then, it's 32 and 83.
I believe
what number did Lane wear at Tech? Do you know?
That's a good question.
I'll pull it up.
I think my guy who was my DB that wore 32 down in Richmond.
This dude has worn 83 forever. He wore 83 at Middle Tennessee State and 83 at Virginia Tech.
Oh.
Maybe this is just his number. That makes me like it more. Because in college, you can wear any number because you can, like, an offensive and a defensive player will wear the number. If it's just his number, I like it more.
Well, especially when you are a superstar on a team like Jalen Lane sort of was. So,
That's a stretch on superstar, big man. He had 400 yards.
Well, I don't know that there were a lot of players from Virginia Tech or on that Virginia Tech team that are going to be in the pros.
I hear you. I'm just saying, superstars, big.
All right, fine. Maybe it's too big of a word. I believe Kenny Ladler wore 32 for the Commanders in his short stint in training camp as a player for them.
That, my friend, is among the most useless pieces of knowledge I've ever heard.
It's very useless.
Lastly, rookie minicamp on Friday. We'll be out there. Looking forward to it. We'll get to talk to all these rooks. We'll get to talk to Gabe Taylor. Dan Quinn's also going to talk, which will be interesting because we haven't got to talk to DQ since the combine, I think.
Yeah.
Did he? No, he might have talked during
Oh
free
no.
agency.
And he talked at what do you call it? Owners meetings.
Right. Okay. But I don't think we talked to him since then.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right.
Like the whole draft, you don't draft an edge rusher.
Yeah,
People have
yeah.
edge angst. Um,
Yeah.
lastly, Caps start tomorrow night. It's Monday at 3:58 p.m. for timestamp guy. Um, I have two notes. I'm prepared to give them. I don't know if you're prepared to receive them.
I'm prepared.
Caps at 6. That's one note.
Good.
I'm telling you, they've righted the ship. They didn't play well against them, but they weren't themselves for a lot of those games. Um, I think they got things right. Um, and I have the very beginnings of a playoff period. What do you think?
Oh, look at you. That's impressive.
I didn't want to start till the second round. I feel like the first round. I mean, if I start that in the first round, like in a couple weeks, I'm gonna have like a lot.
I don't did you see me on I guess it was Wednesday before we taped the show or Thursday before we taped the show on Friday last week. I
Mm-mm.
had my first round playoff beard and it was already out of hand and needed to go
You
for
look clean shaven right now. Is that accurate?
that's Friday to whatever day today is, Monday, 3 days. So yeah.
So will you
I'll,
shave tomorrow to launch the
no, I'm launched
you
now.
prepare to launch? Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Listen, the Caps are underdogs in the series, one. Two, I haven't seen any of these national pundits pick them, and I can't wait for after the series to like all the NFL teams do when they put up the who everyone picked and everyone is picking the damn Canes to win this series. It's hard being the number one seed and going into the playoffs as an underdog, but here they are going to the second round as an underdog, and I love it because I think that they're just that Tom Wilson is just in the heads of the entire NHL and is going to be a damn problem for those Hurricanes.
yeah, I hear you. Hockey's just so bizarre. I bet Winnipeg's a dog going to Dallas that they barely survived St. Louis. You know what I mean? As far as like one seeds. Hockey's just banana land. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Caps at 6. I can't wait. We'll be in Raleigh. Should there be a listener that has access to Pearl Jam tickets Sunday night at the Lenovo Center, holler at your boys. Um, I don't. That's not a. You let us know. We're available. All right. All right. I think we're done. Unless you got stuff.
Nope, I'm good. I'm excited for to see these guys in person on Friday, Josh Connerly and Trey Amos and company, and we'll be back Friday
Connerly
afternoon.
is massive, dude.
I,
Like he's
your explanation of I think you said he's massive with a baby face is just
yeah.
kind of perfect because when you see just like the cutout of his face, he looks so young.
Yeah.
Then you zoom out and see his body of work, and you're like, God damn, this is a man.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy. All right, we'll record Friday. And, I mean, who knows? Maybe there'll be more news involving Roger Goodell and Mayor Bowser that we have to record again. But I think for right now, considering we just did every number, we did reaction to all the numbers. Um, we'll wait till Friday when we talk to these rookies,
Sounds good. If
and then
we
we get
made
the schedule next week.
we get the schedule next week.
We're gonna
Oh
do a
yeah,
TV show.
we're gonna do a TV show on Thursday of next week ish.
Yeah,
Excited for that.
yeah. Okay. If you made it this far, Mitch owes you a beer.